So Iran is struggling, and Iran's challenges will add to global uncertainty, which is already hurting economies the world over. India is no exception. The Indian economy is also facing headwinds. The stock markets crashed again today, posting losses for the fourth straight day. The Indian rupee hit an all-time low against the US dollar. $1 was worth 85 rupees today, the lowest it has ever been. The markets are reacting to decisions made by the US Fed, the Federal Reserve, that is America's central bank. It has slashed interest rates. This will make loans cheaper in America. Now, usually markets cheer such decisions, but not this time, because this time the Fed's rate cut has come with a warning. Inflation still remains a worry, a big worry. The US central bank says it wants to remain cautious.
We can therefore be more cautious as we consider further adjustments to our policy rate. We know that reducing policy restraint too fast or too much could hinder progress on inflation.
So inflation remains stubborn in the United States. It's a growing concern in India too. The days ahead could be tough. Indian households may feel the pinch because inflation is likely to surge. If you are in India, brace for a price rise. Top FMCG companies are set to increase prices. FMCG stands for fast-moving consumer goods. These are your essential items, things that you need and use on a daily basis, things like sugar, wheat, oil, coffee. Let me show you a report. Take a look at this report on your screens. From tea to edible oil and soap to skincare creams, everything is about to get more expensive. Prices are set to rise between 5 and 20%. It is the steepest increase in 12 months. But why are companies raising prices? Because production costs are rising. It takes more money to make these same products. Raw materials have become more expensive, so companies have to spend more to manufacture the same goods. I'll show some numbers. Prices of coffee and cocoa have jumped by 70%. Wheat flour is up by 40%. Palm oil increased by 30%. When production costs increase, companies are left with little choice. They shift the added cost burden onto the consumer, to you and me. And that's exactly what's happening now. This is bad news for all of us and a setback for the RBI. RBI is the Reserve Bank of India. It's been trying to bring down inflation. Last month, there was some relief. Inflation began to ease last month. In the month of November, it stood at 5.5%. It was a sharp drop from October when inflation was well above 6%. The RBI's target is 4%. So the headline numbers suggest that overall inflation in India is coming down. But when you look at food inflation, it's a completely different story. Food inflation in India remains quite high. In November, it was well over 9%. And now prices are set to go up further. So don't expect immediate relief on this front. And the impact of high inflation is not just limited to households. Inflation affects stock markets too. It can influence investment decisions, especially for long-term investors who make big bets on the stock market. Just think about it. What happens when prices go up? How does it affect you? It puts extra pressure on your finances. Your monthly budget gets stretched. So you cut spending on goods which are not strictly essential. And because your budget is stretched, you also end up saving less. The former RBI chief spoke about this. That's Shaktikanta Das. He said that price stability is crucial for economic growth. When inflation is under control, people have more financial flexibility, they invest more, and this in turn boosts the economy. So stable inflation is the bedrock for sustained growth. This is what Shaktikanta Das said, although towards the end of his tenure, he could not stabilize inflation. Now it is up to his successor to finish the job.